All right, let's dive into a fascinating head-to-head. We're putting two retail giants, Alo Yoga and QVC, under the microscope. Now, I know what you're thinking. They seem like they're from different planets, but stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll see they're both masters of the exact same game, human psychology. Let's get into it.
It sounds like the setup for a weird joke, right? On one hand, you have this peak of cool wellness brand born on the internet, all about aspiration. On the other, a TV behemoth that, let's be honest, a lot of people wrote off as a relic. So what on earth is the connection here?
It all comes down to this. They aren't really selling you things. They're selling you a version of yourself. The real product isn't the leggings or the cookware, it's the feeling you get when you own them. The battle isn't for your closet space, it's for your sense of who you are.
So to really understand how they pull this off, we got to break down their core philosophies. And it really boils down to one simple question. Are you trying to become someone new, or are you looking to belong just as you are?
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Alo is all about the dream of transformation. The message is, buy these pants and you're on your way to becoming that better, idealized version of yourself. It's a constant project. QVC, though, does the complete opposite. They sell the warm, fuzzy comfort of acceptance. Their message is, hey, we see you, we get you, you belong right here with us. These are two incredibly powerful but totally opposing emotional hooks.
Now, these big strategies don't just come out of nowhere. They are laser-focused on two completely different customers. So, let's meet them.
First up, we've got Alo's ideal person, the mindful mover. Just picture it. Young, probably lives in a big city like LA or New York, has money to spend. For this person, wellness isn't just about feeling good, it's a status symbol. Their clothes are a uniform that signals to the world that they're part of this elite club of self-improvement. Every purchase is another step toward becoming that influencer they follow on Instagram.
And then, on the other end of the universe, you have QVC's queen, the quintessential 50. She's over 50, owns her home, has disposable income, and she often feels totally invisible to mainstream brands. See, she's not trying to become someone else. She wants products that celebrate the life she's already built. What she craves is connection and trust, not some fleeting trend.
And when you put them side by side like this, wow, the divide is just crystal clear. Look at that last row, the psychological need. For Alo's customer, it's self-actualization, becoming their best self. For QVC's, it's social connection, feeling part of a community. Everything about them is different. And this, right here, is the key to their whole psychological playbook.
So, this is where it gets really good. How do they turn these customer profiles into billions of dollars? Well, they use these time-tested principles of behavioral psychology, what brilliant minds like Robert Cialdini and Charlie Munger call weapons of influence.
Alo's entire strategy is basically a masterclass in two of these principles. First, social proof, which is our tendency to think, well, if all the cool people are wearing it, it must be good. And second, scarcity, that deep down feeling that we desperately want things that are hard to get.
Here's how it works in the wild. You're scrolling your phone and boom, you see a huge celebrity wearing Alo. That's your social proof. Then you go to their site and see they're releasing a new color, but it's a super limited drop. That's scarcity. The combo is killer. It creates this intense, elite urgency that makes you want to buy it right now without even thinking about the price tag. It feels less like shopping and more like joining an exclusive club.
Now, QVC plays a totally different game, one that feels a lot more personal. They lean heavily on liking, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're just hardwired to say yes to people we feel like we know and like. And they are experts at using what's called incentive-caused bias, which is basically our brain getting short-circuited by a reward, making us do things we might not otherwise do.
The genius of QVC is how they combine these. The hosts on screen, they're not presented as slick salespeople. They're positioned as your friend. They share stories about their kids, their lives. They build a real bond. That's the liking principle in action. Then, just as you're feeling that connection, they hit you with easy pay. Now, breaking a $100 purchase into 4 easy payments of $25 doesn't change the price one penny, but it feels completely different. It removes the sting of paying, making the decision to buy feel, well, easy. It's brilliant.
So these psychological tricks are cool and all, but do they actually make money? Oh yeah, the financial results are absolutely staggering. But true to form, how they make their billions are polar opposites. One is all about high profit margin items. The other is about an unbelievable speed and volume of sales.
Okay, get ready for this number because it's a showstopper. This is not a typo.
The average top customer at QVC, we're talking someone who buys more than 20 times a year, spends almost $4,000 annually. That is the insane power of creating a loyal community.
Now let's look at Alo. $660 a year is nothing to sneeze at. In fact, it's a huge number, and it proves they're pulling customers away from giants like Lululemon. But it also perfectly highlights their different model. Fewer purchases, but at a much higher price, all driven by that need for status.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The difference is just massive. It shows you that while Alo might be winning the culture war and getting huge profits on each item, QVC is absolutely dominating when it comes to sheer loyalty and the lifetime value of a customer. Their customers don't just shop with them, they practically live with them.
And this quote right here, this is their secret sauce. This reveals everything. Almost all of their business, we're talking well over 90%, comes from people who are already customers. Once they bring you into their world and make you feel like family, you're basically a customer for life. It is one of the stickiest business models you will ever see.
So you've got these two wildly different, wildly successful models. The big question is, where do they go from here? Well, both are making massive bets on the future, but surprise, surprise, they're running in completely opposite directions.
Alo is looking way down the road. They're building a virtual world on Roblox, trying to get the next generation, Gen Alpha, hooked on their brand before they even have credit cards. It's a very long-term bet on digital identity. QVC, on the other hand, is doing something deceptively simple and, honestly, kind of brilliant. They're just taking their proven 40-year-old formula and moving it to TikTok Shop. They realized a live stream on your phone is just the modern version of a live broadcast on your TV.
And the craziest part? It is absolutely working. Over 100,000 new customers in 1 quarter from TikTok. This is all the proof you need that their psychological model has nothing to do with cable TV. It's about the timeless power of a trusted, friendly voice selling you something live. The platform doesn't matter.
Which brings us to this final question, and it's one that really makes you think about your own habits. At the end of the day, what are you really buying? Are you paying a premium to join an exclusive aspirational tribe? Or are you spending your money to feel like you're part of a family that gets you and knows your name? One sells the person you want to become, the other celebrates the person you already are. The only real question left is, which one wins your wallet?